Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahwashai, Ba'asham Rachaf, Wadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, pushing this 100% truth of the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahwashai. And salutations to the sincere Achema that are pushing this gospel in righteousness and sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. And so we're going to go into, this is an article. So I saw this in the news yesterday, and I went to the video on it, but the spirit wasn't really on me. So now I'm just going to try to go into this article, concerning and this is basically the title: Emirates prepares to distribute the COVID-19 vaccine. Alright, so what you have is that just a brief summary that the Emirates headline. It's like Emirates Airlines. It's trying to, it has already has what I'm looking for volunteered to basically volunteered to use their cargo planes to distribute this vaccine all over the earth, all over the world. When it eventually rolls out. All right, so let me just get into this article. With great anticipation for the release of a safe and proven COVID-19 vaccine, the cargo division of Emirates Airline Group is ensuring it will be capable of the mammoth task of distribution. Emirates Sky Cargo is letting the world know that it has created the world's first dedicated airside cargo hub for the vaccine. This plan will include reopening the Sky Central (DWC) cargo terminal at Dubai South. Emirates Sky Cargo will reopen its Emirates Sky Central (DWC) cargo terminal at Dubai South to serve as a dedicated anchor hub for cold chain storage and distribution of the vaccine. By doing this, the freight division says that it is taking a global leadership position. Alright, and the reason why this article picked at me was because CNN was doing, CNN put it up in one of its headlines that Emirates would help to distribute these vaccines to, so quote unquote, poorer countries. Right, and we can clearly see, you can clearly see Esau, setting up, alright, the framework for his global, for the global rollout of all these vaccines. And normally I would have done I would have, used a video showing, a video going into this information, but ever since that's the last time I used one of CNN's videos and I got copyrighted, so I just used this article instead. And this is just a report to speak on the current situation of things. So this airline already shows, like I said before, that he is preparing for a global vaccine rollout, and then right after that, and this is just the build up the framework for a global rollout of sleeping with white women, or using the image of, or the global rollout of the image of Cesare Borgia. And now you see how stupid that sounds. Right, so we already know what Ito is actually planning to do. Not the nonsense that some of these Israelite camps teach. He's planning to roll out. We're also planning to include, the rollout of the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. Going into what Revelation 13 verse 6, and it quoted all, both small and great, rich and poor. Alright, we already know the rest. And this is, this could be how he does it. By using these airlines to push this, to deliver these vaccines all over the earth, different countries, and basically giving it to them to force it upon their citizens, because that is exactly what Esau is planning on doing. And the events of 2020 have shown just how stupid the average person is, especially you Israelites, going into Hosea 4 verse 6, and also the book of Jeremiah, I believe that is chapter 4 verse 22. Alright. Because and the other outcome actually made me to realize this in his last video, that people don't understand something that you would think everybody should know at this point, and that's that people die. Right, this virus doesn't warrant global lockdowns or forced global vaccinations. Scrambling an emergency vaccine as quickly as possible, and if it was still okay, because it's not killing anybody at an extraordinary rate. It's not doing something. It's not a not a dangerous virus that has a high mortality rate. Even though it's allegedly highly infectious, right? More people. This is a virus with a 1%, and that is just being generous. Alright, a 1% mortality rate. you know compared to the flu, compared to the seasonal flu that has what 2 or 3% more, mortality rate of those that are infected, and yet you still have people that believe that this virus is so that believe that the virus is tearing this world apart, it's tearing the world apart, and it's killing people left and right. But it just goes to show how, you know, s- like I said before, stupid people are. Because I'm not going to say that ESOS witchcraft is effective, because obviously it isn't. But anyway, going back to the topic at hand. This virus does not warrant this global lockdown. So does not warrant creating, scrambling to create a vaccine in order to deal with it, because I don't think any ISO has ever tried to create a vaccine to deal with the common cold or the seasonal flu. This virus is not is less dangerous than those. And if it is still too hard for you to believe that this whole thing has been one big psyop, then as the other Malcolm has said, why, alright, would any first world nation sacrifice itself and more of its people? Because you have to remember the numbers are still counting, people are still being infected, people are still dying allegedly. Okay, and if you don't believe me, you can watch CNN on that. They cover it. They cover that propaganda hard. Even harder than they even during this election they were still covering it. So why would they sacrifice themselves? Since this virus is so deadly, right? And instead choose to save you Israelites. When have they ever done that? Going into them wanting to send this thing to poorer countries, which we all know that the countries with that the poorest countries are the ones that have are the ones that have the most Israelites in them. When have they ever chosen when have they ever chosen to save you? Normally it's these devils that are giving you the diseases, right? Whether it's smallpox, whether it's syphilis, whether it's a crippling crack addiction, whether it's HIV or AIDS or Ebola or polio, and now they want to help you. Right, so let me get Ecclesiasticus 12 verse 10, because obviously some people still have trust in this devil, and that was clearly seen with these elections. Right, so this book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, and I'll start from verse 10, and it reads, Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right, simple as that. You can't trust these devils, you can't trust Esau, and you would think that our people know who is friend and who is foe, but apparently we don't. Now I'm probably just going to end it here. Just going to bring out this brief report about how Emirates Airlines, these airlines are preparing to ship these vaccines all across the whole earth. All right, with that, so I'm going to end it there. And through the spirit, how this video was edifying. So I'd like to say, Call halal Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai Ba'asham Rachak Wadash Wa Abad Babal Shalawam.